Good morning, myself Nisha Srestha. Today we will discuss the topic chemical change, which is of class 10 chemistry. Now all of you know what is physical change and chemical change. But there is a difference between physical change and chemical change. So what is the major difference between physical change and chemical change? Physical change is reversible in nature, while chemical changes are irreversible in nature. To prove this irreversible nature of chemical change, we will see here activities. Now the first activity is to burn magnesium ribbon. So first of all we will take magnesium ribbon, but we know that magnesium is reactive in nature. So there is one layer of magnesium oxide on the surface of metal. So first of all we use paper, sandpaper, and we will clean the surface of magnesium ribbon. Now what will happen after cleaning the magnesium ribbon? We burn it. What will happen? When we burn the magnesium ribbon, magnesium reacts with oxygen and we will get magnesium oxide. Now this is magnesium oxide, which is white ash. Now here it is metal. When it reacts with oxygen present in the environment, it forms magnesium oxide. Now this is not balanced, you have to balance it. So for balancing we put here 2 and here 2. Now this is balanced. But if white ash is formed, now it's impossible to convert this white ash again into the magnesium ribbon. So this is the irreversible in nature. Now see the second activity. Now in second activity, in one beaker we will take potassium iodide solution. In second beaker we will take lead nitrate solution. Now what will happen? When we will mix this potassium iodide solution and lead nitrate solution, we will get yellow precipitate of lead iodide. Now see how it happens. Potassium iodide plus lead nitrate. Now we have to make potassium iodide solution and this is lead nitrate solution. Now what will happen? When we will mix this, we will get yellow precipitate of lead iodide, PbI2, and we will get potassium nitrate, KNO3. Again this is not balanced, you have to balance it. Here it is I2, have to put here 2 and here also. Now this is balanced. Now this is lead iodide, which is yellow precipitate. We get yellow precipitate of lead iodide. Now if you will get lead iodide, now you can never convert this precipitate again into the clear solution. So this is also irreversible in nature. Now see the third activity. Now in third activity we have to take conical flask. Now in conical flask we have taken granulated zinc. We have taken small pieces of zinc. Now what we have to do? Now drop wise we have to put dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4. You can take hydrochloric acid also and you can take sulfuric acid also. And drop wise you have to put here from Hessel funnel. Now what will happen? This granulated zinc reacts with dilute HCl, zinc plus dilute HCl, and what will you get? Zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas is removed. Now this is also not balanced, you have to balance it. Right here 2. Now this is balanced. And if you will take dilute H2SO4, then the reaction will be Zn plus H2SO4 and we will get zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas again is evolved. Now how can you prove that this gas evolved is hydrogen? Now from here we can see that after reaction there is some evolution of gas here. Now you can see the bubbles. Here we have taken water in a container. Now you can see the bubbles. So bubbles confirms that there is some gas, and because after using matchstick we will get pop sound, so it confirms that the gas is hydrogen gas. And now this is also one process, downward displacement of water. We know that gas is lighter than water. Gas is lighter than water. So we will see that after some time water is displacing downwards. So this is known as downward displacement of water. So once it happens, we get zinc chloride or zinc sulfate and hydrogen is removed. So this reaction is also irreversible in nature. Now fourth one, you all know, rusting of iron. This activity you also know, already you read, rusting of iron. Now what happens, we have taken some nails and here we have taken water and oxygen is also present. What happens? Iron reacts with water and oxygen present in the atmosphere, and what we get? Fe2O3 H2O. Now this is also not balanced, you have to balance it. This is 4Fe, 2H2O and 3O2. Now here you put 2. Now this is the formula of rust. This is the formula of rust. Hydrated ferric oxide. What is this? Hydrated ferric oxide, OXide. Is it? Hydrated ferric oxide. Okay. So again, if you will see that there is some brown coating on the surface of nail. So this is nothing but rust. And if rust is there, now it's impossible to convert again this rusting of iron into the pure nail. So these 4 reactions, you have seen these 4 activities. So this proves that chemical change is irreversible in nature. So the main characteristics of chemical change, you can see here, there may be color change. Here you have seen, there is color change. We have got yellow precipitate. Here there is brown layer. So this is the color change. Next is physical state. There may be change of physical state. Here you have taken solid granulated zinc and you are adding dilute HCl, which is liquid in state, and you are getting gaseous state. So there may be change in physical state also. Gas may evolve. Again you can see here, in some reaction there may be evolution of gases. And this all changes are permanent in nature. We have discussed that chemical change is irreversible in nature. It means it is permanent in nature. And last is temperature change. In every reaction there must be some change in temperature. If temperature is increased, means evolution of temperature, increase of temperature, it means it is exothermic in nature. In case of this, you can see that this is evolution of gas, there is heat. So these are exothermic in nature, and in some reaction there is requirement, there is absorption of heat. So that type of reaction is known as endothermic reaction. So this is all about the chemical change. Okay. Now next topic we will discuss in our next class.